In the heart of an intergalactic conflict, Earth's resistance is stretched thin, fighting against an overwhelming alien force. Among the ranks of the resistance is a seemingly ordinary human, whose name has not yet become legend but will soon be etched into the galaxy's history. This individual, just one of many brave souls fighting to protect Earth, is captured by a hostile alien race known for their ruthless tactics and unrelenting conquest across the stars. The alien species, having faced countless civilizations over the centuries, have studied and defeated worlds with greater power than Earth's. They see humanity as nothing more than an insignificant and primitive species, easy to subjugate and manipulate. To the aliens, Earth is an afterthought, a mere stepping stone in their expansion. In their eyes, humans are weak, not worthy of consideration, and most importantly, easily broken under pressure. To them, the human spirit is nothing more than an obstacle to be crushed. Having captured this human resistance fighter, the alien captors quickly decide on a method of extracting information: poison. The alien empire's practice is swift and efficient. They believe that by administering a deadly toxin, they will break the human's will and force him to reveal vital details about Earth's defenses, military operations, and potential weaknesses. The aliens expect the human to succumb to the poison within hours, leaving him weak, compliant, and ready to give up Earth's secrets. However, the human in question is far from ordinary. Despite the brutal alien tactics, the human does not react as expected. Rather than showing fear, pain, or desperation, the captive human remains calm and collected, unaffected by the alien captor's intimidation. His face reflects confidence, and his determination burns through the fear that might have overwhelmed others in his situation. He stands tall, displaying an unwavering resolve that even his captors cannot ignore. This stoic demeanor surprises the aliens. They anticipated that the poison would be a simple tool to bring the human into submission, but instead, it is met with defiance. This seemingly ordinary human doesn't break under the pressure. Instead, he remains strong and unbowed, a symbol of the indomitable human spirit. His resolve not only baffles the alien captors but sets the stage for the revelation that humans, in their seemingly frail bodies, possess an inner strength that far exceeds what their enemies could ever anticipate. What begins as a simple capture by the alien species turns into an unexpected test of strength, one that the human resistance fighter will surpass, leaving the aliens to wonder if they've underestimated humanity's potential for survival and defiance. The alien captors, confident in their superior technology and tactics, begin the process of administering a deadly poison to the human prisoner. Their intent is clear. They believe that this powerful toxin will incapacitate the human and force him to surrender information about Earth's defenses, military strategies, and the Resistance's operations. To the aliens, this method is foolproof, having been effective on countless other species throughout their conquests. The alien race, in all its advanced technological prowess, is unaware of one key detail: the complexity of human physiology. While the alien species has studied many civilizations in their biology, they have underestimated Earth's inhabitants. Their assumptions are based on the idea that all species react similarly to toxins or poisons, especially those considered less technologically advanced. They are confident that the toxin they have selected, one that has brought entire species to their knees, will work as planned, leaving the human prisoner vulnerable and willing to cooperate. As the alien captors administer the poison, they expect the usual signs of distress. They watch with a sense of anticipation, knowing that soon the human will begin to suffer. The captors assume that the poison will cause the human to fall into unconsciousness, or perhaps even die, leaving them to then extract the information they desire. This is how they have handled countless prisoners, and they see no reason why this human would be any different. However, something unexpected happens. Instead of succumbing to the poison, the human begins to exhibit no signs of suffering, at least not in the way the aliens expect. His breathing remains steady, his eyes sharp, and he does not falter under the assault of the toxin. Instead of crying out in pain or showing weakness, he does the unthinkable. He begins to laugh. At first, the alien captors believe it to be a sign of delirium or madness, perhaps a last reaction to the inevitable death. But as the laughter continues, it becomes clear that this human is not reacting the way any other species would. The alien captors are stunned, confused, and disoriented. This human is supposed to be at their mercy, yet he laughs in defiance, as if mocking the very idea that they could break him so easily. The poison, which the aliens had calculated to be the perfect tool to force compliance, is having the opposite effect. It is ineffective. Instead of succumbing to death or incapacitation, The human seems to be resistant, even amused by the situation. The alien captors, who were used to seeing their prisoners weaken and submit under such methods, find themselves facing something they could never have anticipated: a human who is unyielding, unbroken, and completely unaffected by their greatest weapon. As they watch, baffled and unsettled, the human continues to laugh. This is not the response they expected, and it throws them into a state of uncertainty. The alien captors, who were accustomed to having control over all aspects of their interrogation process, now realize they may be facing something entirely different, an unpredictable force that they can't control, one that is much more resilient than they ever imagined. The human's reaction, instead of signaling defeat, is a sign of strength. It is the beginning of a realization that Earth's resilience and its people cannot be so easily crushed. The aliens, in their overconfidence, have made a critical mistake, one that will soon unravel their assumptions about the human species. As the poison continues to take its course, the alien captors, initially convinced that the human will soon collapse into unconsciousness or pain, begin to realize that something far stranger is unfolding before them. The human, still laughing in the face of imminent death, shows no signs of weakness or vulnerability. Instead of the expected suffering, the human remains alert, composed, and even more disturbingly for the captors, defiant. The alien captors, whose species have conquered countless planets and civilizations, are utterly baffled by the human survival. They had administered what they considered to be a highly potent poison, capable of incapacitating even the most resilient of species. The poison is designed to interfere with the biological functions of its victims, breaking down their body systems until it can no longer sustain life. To the aliens, this method has never failed until now. What the aliens don't know is that human physiology is more complex and resilient than they could have imagined. Over millennia, humanity has survived through evolution and adaptation, developing a remarkable ability to resist and recover from many environmental threats. The human immune system, designed by natural selection to fight off disease and toxins, has been exposed to countless harmful substances throughout history, from poisons and diseases to environmental hazards, and each time, humans have found ways to survive and adapt. This is not to say that the human body is invincible, but rather that it has an exceptional capacity for resistance. Earth's harsh environments, including extreme temperatures, pollutants, and pathogens, have created a species that can endure in ways many other species cannot. The alien species, who have never encountered such resilience, are unaware that humans have developed a series of biological defenses over time: genetic mutations, antibodies, and adaptive mechanisms that make them more resistant to toxins and poisons than any alien species they've encountered before. The human prisoner, having faced and survived exposure to Earth's harsh conditions, has an unusual immunity to certain toxins. This innate resilience is further enhanced by humanity's advanced medical knowledge. Unknown to the aliens, the human had been administered a series of custom treatments designed to bolster his immune system and provide resistance against a range of known poisons, an act of foresight by Earth's resistance medical teams, who knew that Earth's enemies might someday use poison against them. This treatment, though a carefully guarded secret, allows the human to neutralize the toxin before it can take effect. At this moment, the human begins to reveal that he is no ordinary prisoner. His defiance isn't just a product of sheer willpower, it's biological. The aliens' plan to break his spirit with their poison has failed, and in doing so, they've exposed just how little they understand about the human species. The human's laughter continues, not out of insanity, but as an expression of strength. He has not only survived the poison, but has done so with an inner fortitude that no alien could have predicted. This revelation shifts the power dynamic between the alien captors and their human prisoner. The alien race, which believed itself to be the dominant force in the galaxy, is now faced with a mystery they cannot explain. A species they had written off as weak and easily subdued is now displaying a resilience that rivals their own advanced technologies. The human survival challenges everything the aliens thought they knew about biological warfare, species adaptability, and the limits of resilience. What began as a simple act of poisoning now becomes a moment of awakening. Humanity's inner strength, both physical and mental, sets the stage for a dramatic shift in the power balance. The human spirit, combined with their surprising biological resilience, becomes a force that the alien species will struggle to understand and, ultimately, underestimate at their peril. The alien captors are left wondering if they truly know what they are up against, as the human continues to stand tall. unbroken by the poison and determined to resist until the very end. As the human continues to resist the effects of the poison, the alien captor's initial confidence begins to crumble. They had expected this human to fall quickly, succumbing to the poison within minutes, just as countless other species had. However, instead of seeing the wretched suffering they had anticipated, they are met with a calm, unfazed human who continues to laugh. This reaction, one the aliens cannot comprehend, throws their entire plan into disarray. At first, the aliens dismiss the human's defiance as some sort of irrational behavior, perhaps a sign of madness or a last cry of desperation. But as minutes turn into hours, the alien captors are left in a state of bewilderment. The human's survival against the poison is far beyond any expectation. Their poison is meant to shut down the human body's systems, but instead, the human shows no signs of faltering, no signs of distress. Instead of gasping for air, trembling in pain, or succumbing to weakness, the human is still standing, still alert, still mocking them. The alien captors find themselves unsure of what to do next. Their superior technology, once thought to be the ultimate weapon, has failed to bring this human to his knees. As more time passes and the human remains unscathed, the confidence the aliens once had begins to shift to frustration and anger. They are not accustomed to failure, and the failure of their poison to work is a humiliation they can hardly process. The alien species, known for their ruthless precision, take pride in their ability to subjugate and control other civilizations with ease. The humans' defiance is something they have never encountered. They are accustomed to species being either destroyed or broken by their methods, not this unpredictable resistance. The alien captors start questioning their own assumptions about humanity. How could a primitive species, one they had written off as weak, possess such resilience? What kind of biological anomaly are they dealing with? As the human continues to stand strong, the alien guards begin to argue amongst themselves. Some insist that the human is simply lucky, that the poison must be taking its toll and will eventually bring the human down. Others, however, begin to consider the impossible. What if humans are not so easily broken? What if there is something in their biology that makes them immune to their poison? Or even more terrifying, something unknown that gives humans an ability to endure where other species cannot. The confusion grows. The alien species has prided itself on being the dominant force in the galaxy, and yet they are facing a human prisoner whose resilience is now shaking their belief in their own superiority. The poison, once considered the ultimate tool of coercion, now appears to be utterly useless against a species they've spent centuries underestimating. This moment is pivotal. The alien captors, who once believed that their power could break any resistance, are now confronted with the stark reality that they are not invincible. The human survival challenges the very foundation of their tactics. As the confusion and frustration mount, the captor's arrogance gives way to uncertainty. The human prisoner, laughing in the face of their greatest weapon, has turned their own tactics against them, sowing the seeds of doubt in the minds of the aliens. For the first time, they realize that they might not have the upper hand they once believed. This small, seemingly insignificant human, in his defiance, has become the catalyst for the unraveling of their confidence, and this is just the beginning of humanity's fight back. As the alien captors stand in stunned disbelief, unsure of how to proceed with a human who refuses to succumb to their poison, the prisoner's defiant laughter gradually transforms into a knowing smile. The tide begins to turn, and the human, still unscathed by the poison, realizes this is his moment of opportunity. In the midst of the confusion, the human seizes the chance to manipulate the situation to his advantage. The alien captors, unsure of how to proceed, begin to make critical mistakes. They grow increasingly impatient with their failed attempts at breaking the human. For them, it has always been a simple equation: apply superior force, intimidation, and biological control, and the weaker species will eventually submit. But humanity, with its unpredictability, has proven to be a significant anomaly. The human, still seemingly unaffected by the poison and appearing to be in control of the situation, carefully begins to play on the alien captor's confusion and arrogance. As the aliens continue to question their own tactics, the human slowly starts to shift his behavior from passive resistance to active manipulation. He uses his calm demeanor and confidence to exploit their vulnerabilities. First, he begins to feed false information about Earth's defenses. The alien captors, assuming he is weak and on the brink of death, listen to his words with growing curiosity. Little do they know that the human is spinning a web of lies, deliberately misleading them with carefully crafted deceptions. The human uses his knowledge of the alien language and their tactics to create a false picture of Earth's military readiness, all while playing into the alien captor's overconfidence. But it's not just misinformation. The human begins to tap into the alien systems. Over time, during his captivity, he's been observing, memorizing, and analyzing the alien technology around him, unseen to his captors. The alien prison, where he is held, is filled with advanced tech that the aliens take for granted. The human, using his intellect and the slight advantage gained from his earlier resilience against the poison, starts to hack into their systems, manipulating minor details, bypassing security protocols, and sending subtle signals to Earth's resistance forces. The aliens, still confident that they hold the upper hand, never realize that the human, far from being broken, has been slowly setting up the groundwork for his escape. In the chaos and confusion of the failed poison and the increasing frustration of the alien captors, the human plants false coordinates for Earth's true defenses, setting them up for an ambush or diversion. He feeds them just enough half-truths to keep them off balance and far from the actual strategic points they believe they're targeting. Meanwhile, the human has also been studying the alien guards' behavior and their patterns. He begins to notice small lapses in their security protocols. They're overly confident in their control, assuming they have this human well within their grasp, but they overlook the small, subtle errors in their own system, errors the human quickly takes advantage of. As the hours pass, the human's calm demeanor begins to wear on the captors. They begin to grow uneasy, not just from the continued survival of the human despite the poison, but from the sense that they may not have the full control they thought they did. The human has effectively undermined their authority, sowing the seeds of doubt and paranoia among the captors. What began as an effort to break him has now turned into a psychological game, where the human is outwitting his captors at every turn. By the time the alien captors realize what has happened, it is too late. The human, having bided his time, is now in a position to escape and counterattack. His manipulation, combined with his resilience and newfound knowledge of the alien systems, allows him to overwhelm his captors in a series of well-executed moves. What the aliens saw as a routine capture has now become a battle of wits that they cannot win. This moment marks the human's transformation from prisoner to tactical mastermind. What started as a simple act of defiance has become a brilliant turnaround, where the human now holds the upper hand, ready to bring the fight to his captors in a way they never imagined. The tables have officially turned, and Earth's resistance has gained a powerful new ally, one who has already begun to turn the alien captors' own weapons and tactics against them. As the human's calculated manipulation of the alien captors continues, the tide of the conflict begins to shift in unexpected ways. The human, having taken full advantage of the confusion and the alien captors' underestimation of him, now stands at the precipice of victory, not through brute force, but through strategic brilliance, patience, and resilience. The aliens, once convinced that they could easily break humanity, are now facing a nightmare. A prisoner they thought would be weakened by their poison is instead orchestrating his own escape. But it's not just the human's physical resilience that surprises the aliens. His mental resilience and ability to remain calm in the face of adversity have allowed him to turn the entire situation on its head. Every move the alien captors make is countered by the human with precision and intelligence, exploiting every flaw in their systems, whether technological or psychological. As the alien guards begin to lose their grip on control, the human's plan accelerates. With the alien defenses compromised, the human manages to free himself from his restraints and gain access to critical systems within the alien base. His knowledge of the alien technology, which he had quietly studied over the course of his captivity, allows him to disable security systems, bypass controls, and reprogram key systems to aid his escape. The alien captors, still reeling from their failed attempts to intimidate him, are caught off guard when their own technology begins to turn against them. At the same time, the human's survival and escape have a ripple effect. The resistance back on Earth, which had been tracking the human's whereabouts, is able to use the intel he has gained during his captivity. The small victories he has achieved from within the alien stronghold, information about the alien fleet's vulnerabilities, the locations of key military assets, and weaknesses in their strategy, become pivotal in the Resistance's broader campaign. What was once a seemingly futile rescue mission for the human has now turned into a strategic triumph that provides humanity with a tactical advantage they never could have imagined. As the human moves deeper into the alien base, he creates chaos in the form of disruptions, disabling critical communication systems and sowing discord among the alien forces. The Resistance, now aware of the alien fleet's true weaknesses, launches a counterattack synchronized with the humans' actions. What began as a prisoner's defiance has escalated into an orchestrated effort to dismantle the alien empire's operations from within. The alien captors, overwhelmed and caught off guard by the humans' tactics, begin to question their assumption that humanity was a weak, defenseless species. The humans' resilience is no longer just a story of survival, but a symbol of the power that lies in humanity's ability to adapt, persevere, and outsmart the strongest of foes. Each move he makes, whether it's escaping his cell or manipulating the alien systems, is a testament to humanity's resourcefulness in the face of overwhelming adversity. The aliens, unable to comprehend how their technologically superior forces could be outmaneuvered by a single human, are now facing an existential crisis of their own. What was initially thought to be an easy victory for the aliens is now a distant memory, as the humans' actions continue to turn the tide of battle. The alien empire, accustomed to dominating worlds through sheer force, is now faced with a species that refuses to be intimidated, subjugated, or defeated. The human, whose spirit and ingenuity have proven to be far stronger than the alien invaders could have anticipated, becomes a rallying symbol of humanity's ultimate resilience. The tide has turned, and the aliens now face the full might of a unified and determined human resistance, led by one human who refused to bend. The human's successful escape and the resulting chaos within the alien stronghold mark a decisive shift in the conflict. The alien captors, once certain of their ability to crush humanity with their superior technology, now face the full extent of their underestimation of Earth's species. As the humans' actions disrupt their operations, the alien forces begin to realize that they are no longer in control. What was meant to be an easy conquest of a primitive species has evolved into a full-scale struggle for survival for the alien empire. Humanity, once thought weak and powerless, has proven to be an adversary unlike any the alien empire has faced before. With the human leading the charge, the aliens are forced to reconsider their entire strategy. What they had assumed would be a routine operation has now become a catastrophic failure that threatens to unravel their years of conquest. The alien species, known for its dominance and ruthless efficiency, finds itself outmaneuvered by a single human and the resilience of the human race. The human, still navigating through the alien base, manages to disrupt key systems and destroy critical resources, causing the alien empire's infrastructure to collapse in on itself. Communication networks are crippled, power sources are destroyed, and weapon systems are rendered useless. This is not just an escape. It is a strategic decimation of the aliens' technological advantage. The alien fleet, once poised to launch a full-scale invasion of Earth, is now crippled by its own vulnerabilities, exposed by the humans' resourcefulness and strategic foresight. As the alien forces try to regroup, they are met with counterattacks from Earth's resistance, now bolstered by the intelligence provided by the humans' actions. The coordinated effort between the human sabotage and the Resistance's military operations begins to turn the tide in humanity's favor. The alien fleet, disorganized and demoralized, begins to retreat in the face of Earth's unexpected strength. For the first time in the war, the aliens are on the defensive, forced to reconsider their position in the galaxy. The final showdown unfolds in space as the human-led resistance, empowered by the humans' information and actions, delivers a devastating blow to the alien fleet. Using the aliens' own technology against them, Earth's forces manage to destroy key alien warships, crippling their ability to retaliate. The once mighty fleet, which had been intended to overwhelm and subdue Earth, is reduced to a scattered force, scrambling to escape the wrath of humanity's combined efforts. In the midst of the chaos, the human's role in the conflict becomes undeniable. This individual, once thought to be a simple prisoner, has proven to be the catalyst for humanity's greatest victory. Not only did the humans survive their attempt to break him, but he has turned the alien force's own strength against them, forcing their retreat and laying the groundwork for humanity's triumph. The alien empire, once certain of their uncontested dominance, is now in full retreat. Earth, the species they considered insignificant, has defeated their invincible fleet, and the alien captors, now helpless in the face of humanity's determination and resilience, are left with no choice but to flee. This retreat marks the beginning of a new era for humanity. No longer are they a fragile species on the edge of extinction. Instead, they have proven to the galaxy that they are a force to be reckoned with. The aliens, once arrogant and confident, now face the reality that underestimating humanity was their gravest mistake. The victory over the alien empire is not just a military triumph, but a declaration of humanity's strength, unity, and unwavering spirit.